Hi friends, today's topic is again a very, very important, very practical way of being actually. Manasa, Vacha and Karmana. Those who don't understand what that is. Manasa is what is in the mind through thoughts. What do we think? Vacha is words, what we speak, what we utter through our mouth. And Karmana is our actions. What are our actions? So thoughts, words and actions. A lot of times we have heard a lot of topics like manifestation. You got to manifest what you want, what you think you become. I would like a better job. I would like to establish my own business. I would like my relationships to become better. We have all these wishes and demands or manifestations that we have of us. But what are we doing to make it happen? So the subtle sciences is this Manasa, Vacha, Karmana. One is knowing that, yes, I want this. But what are we doing towards? So let us understand these three terms that is essentially the core of finally seeing what we see outside in the world. We see really big businesses. We see such highly successful people. It's all, and we see enlightened people like Patriji, who has created a Dhyan Jagat. He's created thousands of meditators, lakhs of meditators by just these three, because he thought about it. What is the thought? What are our thoughts and how do we think? So in terms of thoughts, as we all know that there are 4 types of thoughts. So let us understand and know where we are in terms of our manifestation. Suppose you would like a job or you would like much more peace in your life. So let us understand and let us have our own self-awareness. Let us not live in the maya of, everything is perfect, everything is all right. But then we're not really near the truth. So the first point is to understand how are our thoughts. So there are 4 types of thoughts. There are disastrous thoughts, negative thoughts, positive and miraculous. So we say disastrous thoughts. Disastrous is when it is nowhere close to manifestation, where you believe that you're going on the road and you believe that, oh my God, I'm going to have an accident. When you say the most disastrous things, not knowing that what you think it becomes, what you are thinking, it will manifest in some way or the other. So hence, disastrous thoughts do not lead to positive manifestations. They lead to disastrous manifestations. Now, let us understand again let us take the driving example itself. Now we're thinking of negative thoughts. I don't know, maybe if I don't press the brake, what if a dog gets killed? Or when I'm going on the road, maybe I don't know if I might lose control. The last time when I went, I faced an accident. Maybe now too, it might just happen. I'm such a forgetful person. I might just, all of these thoughts we manifest. Because we are thinking this, we don't want it to be a result. We want to be safe. We want to, reach on the road, reach the end destination successfully, positively, happily. We want to manifest the best. But what we're thinking and what our karmana is, there's a big gap. So understanding where our thoughts are is very, very important. This is what happened for me. I realized in 2009 that yes, this meditation thing is great, but it actually brought an understanding that where am I in life? Where are my thoughts? I wanted to manifest getting 90% marks in my exams. And when I was observing through meditation, I observed what are my type of thoughts. My thoughts were very, very negative. I was in my boards time when I had to manifest getting so many marks so that I can get science I can take the science in my 11th and 12th. Now, when I noticed that every single thought was basis my past belief patterns about myself. I've always been an average student. So I've always thought, yes, what is going to change? What just by doing meditation, what will change? All of those thoughts are of the past, are heavily belief based of my past belief system. My past belief system is, yes, you're an ordinary, you're an okay, you're an average person. It's fine. Maybe you can try to do things. Maybe it will change, maybe it won't. You never know. And then I had read the secret book, and then I had transformed these negative thoughts to positive. And when I listened to Patriji, it became miraculous. So within a matter of 3 months, I worked just on my thoughts, this Manasa aspect of myself. Because I wanted to manifest, I wanted to see getting these many marks so I can get science. In Delhi, if you want to get science, you have to get at least an 85%. And I've never seen that kind of marks. And that's how my start for meditation actually happened, was my tryst with marks and meditation. So yes, that's what happened when I started to work on my thoughts for 3 months. My negative and disastrous thoughts, I slowly realized, oh my God, what do I think about myself? Why are these thoughts coming about? How do I? And again, the way we think is the way. For example, you're looking at me. You could be like, yes, oh, nice plant. You can get distracted from the real thing. Or maybe, is that possible or not? Yeah, I've already heard this subject before. There are so many thoughts that are essentially keeping us away from this moment that is now. This now is having no thoughts and being here, having done the 45 minutes of meditation and being absolutely still so that we can hear crystal clear, purely of what is being spoken. So now that's what I had done. Let me go back to the story. Then worked on transforming those negative and disastrous thoughts to positive thoughts. When I believed that, no, that's not possible. I've always been an average person. That's how you will always be. And consciously through meditation practice, and whenever a thought arises of a negative thought, I would transform it to being a positive and a miraculous thought. And slowly, whenever I was studying, again, a belief pattern would come about, being like, okay, you're back to it. Now you're going to forget this. Now it's not possible. You believe, then I would compare myself, my natural qualities to compare with other people. So I would compare myself to other people. And then slowly, I would go back to my own belief system and my own pattern. Again, I worked on myself. And then this was a very cathartic process, you could say, because from disastrous to negative, then I transformed to positive and miraculous. So with the moment right after meditation, I got a thought that, yes, I could see a number 86%, 86.5. I kept it in front of me. I was like, okay, I don't know what this means because I just started meditation. Let's see what will happen. And then whenever I used to get, again, a negative thought during my exams itself, when you're giving that thought, in that nth moment, then also it was miraculous. And then finally, I didn't care about the result. I didn't care about, and I didn't care about what is going to happen. And finally, when I saw my marks and I saw it, I was like, yes, it's 86.5. Okay, let's move on. I would idly get stuck up and talk about it, but then I actually moved on. So let us also talk about from Manasa, Vacha also, when that similar example. Now, it's very easy for us to think, yes, I think positive. Like, I'm a very positive person. But when you have a situation and a circumstance when people around you are just talking about gossip or, talking about, I don't think it's possible. A new invigilator has come today. From a classic student example, new invigilator has come today. And, maybe they're going to just cut some marks. You have no idea. Everything's just going to go, whatever we studied is going to be of no use. All of these in action, we can see that it does, see it at our workplaces also, or even at our homes. Yes. Such a positive meditation we've done. Great. I feel amazing, energetic. And then you see your phone and then you see your self-worth issues come back to the surface. You're just like, oh, you're scrolling. You realize, okay. Yeah. I'm back to feeling, you look at that guy, he's got a car. He just bought a car. He's just flaunting that car. So you're thinking positive. You're feeling negative. You think positive, but you feel negative. And then you expect that you get a car and you're able to earn enough to buy a car. And then you're not there yet because there's a gap between our thoughts, our words, and our actions. Because you want great results, but we are not working on the backbone. We're working on watering this leaf, but we're not going to watering the root. The knowing the root is this Manasa Vacha Karmana of manifestation. Again, I feel for me, manifestation word doesn't exist because it feels it's just consequence. Again, because of hearing Patriji, I just realized that when you talk about manifestation, you're trying to go, I don't know, it's not going in flow with reality. But when you see manifestation as consequence, that yes, I have an impact that I create in the external world, then you realize, okay, I'll just be and do, have miraculous thoughts and see it happening. So you're more in a being state. So that's how I'm currently at the moment. So I don't believe in manifestation, but still in terms of Maya, yes, we see manifestation as a way of getting our wishes to life. So yes, the words that are uttered, that's Vacha. Manasa is the thoughts that we have. What are the thoughts? How many thoughts are we having? Where are the thoughts coming from? That's also one more thing. Does it come from a place of past patterns? Does it come from a place of suppressed emotions? Does it come from a place of your family's past thought processes? So knowing what and where these thoughts are coming from. And how many thoughts exist in a moment, at this moment while we're talking, how many thoughts do we have? Are we completely empty? Are we silenced? Are we completely listening in this moment? Are we checking our phones? It's all a matter of how serious we are about ourselves. It's a choice that we make to be here in this very moment. If we are here, then we have to be 100%. Otherwise, leave. That's that. If we are here for hearing the truth, or we are interested to listening to the truth, then we have to be here 100%. Otherwise, there's no use. You're not being serious about things. I'm pretty crass in the way that I say things, because at the end, if you're serious about truth, that's again something that I've worked on myself since 2009. I'm just like, if I'm serious about meditation, because there was a period of time when I was just like, yeah, I'm a meditator. I would just say I'm a meditator. Yes, what do you do? Yeah, I meditate for half an hour. But then when I would ask myself, am I serious about meditation? And that answer was no. Because Patriji asked that question, are you really serious about meditation? And then I was like, maybe not, sir. So I think all of us, if we are really serious about meditation, you should be here 100%. Otherwise, just leave. You're not here you're spending a lot of your time. And it should be fully utilized so that you're hearing and being. Yeah, so now back to the thoughts aspect, the Manasa aspect. So now, how are our thoughts? We believe also that we know all of these things. So we believe, yeah, I know this stuff. So, what is new to be heard? But no, there is something that could click for you that will happen in this course. Now, very important are our thoughts. And am I saying that from a space of, yes, I know everything? No, I don't. I'm still working on myself, and I'm still, and we are all going to eternally. That's why we are still on planet Earth, because we are here working on ourselves. But when we learn the science, we understand, okay, which part of the science have we understood? Because everyone has a different perspective, different way of understanding the same truth. So once you understand this part of the truth from this individual consciousness, you're able to understand, okay, what is it? How is this person doing it? Or how is the science brought to life? Now, as important our thoughts are our words. So, Padriji puts it beautifully, saying, Yukta Bhashanamu, Mita Bhashanamu, and Nirbhashanamu, which is in Telugu and probably Sanskrit itself, is how much are we speaking? Are our words yukta? Are they correct? Are our words that are spoken, our bhashanam, that's our words, are they correct? Where are we speaking? For example, I'm speaking in this meeting. How much are we in our own respective spaces to be speaking? No. That means, have we understood that, yes, where should we speak? At this point, we can't speak because we are all muted. That is knowing that, yes, this is not the right time to speak. When we have a question answer, that's the right time. What's the yukta time to speak, and when is the yukta time not to speak? We're sitting in a meeting and we have a perspective, we have a thought process that we want to share because we believe that it is correct. But at that point, knowing that, is it the right point to express or not to express? Is this the point to listen or not to listen? So knowing that, knowing, and all of this knowing comes through meditation. It's not going to be some an extraterrestrial comes from nowhere and tells you this thing. No, this is something that we know. We start to see and observe. This is again, those who have met Patriji know that how much he speaks, how much he doesn't speak. He gives a lot of emphasis on Vacha, because he says that you can't control someone's thought. So every time he will always work on Vakshetra, on the words. He says, see, Karmana comes from nature. So for example, he had a lot of anger, or he knows his nature. He's like, yes, if I see that person, if he comes in front of me, I'll kick him. That's what he says. You can hear one of his things in lockdown messages. He shares that if someone comes in front of me, my nature essentially is that, I'll kick. I'll be like, don't touch my feet. This is not the right thing to do. You are a guru. You're yourself a master. So if anyone who used to come near his feet, he would just kick them and be like, what is wrong with you? Don't you believe you're a master? Because he knows that nature will not change. The nature never changes. Again, when you come into meditation, suddenly your nature won't become like this really extroverted person and everything will change. No, nothing like that. But slowly, a transformation will happen within you, in your nature. And in your nature, slowly, through this transformation, you're able to have a change, a slight change in your nature. But again, that your nature never changes. No matter what happens, but your nature never changes. So he knows that. So Sir could never tame or work on our thoughts, because that's not possible. You can't go into the mind of the person. He could never work on the karmana of the person. He won't ask you to go do this, go do that. No, he won't do. He'll just say it. He'll not do it. He will say it if he wants something to be done through you. So you can observe Patriji for that matter. So he always said that I always work on other people's Vakshetra. Because again, like Jesus Christ says, it doesn't matter what you listen. It matters what it and defilates you. It says what you say manifests. What you say can make or break a situation. What you say can devastate a relationship or to nurture a relationship. So I used to say always those words that are always miraculous words. He always spoke the universal truth. At this point, half the time we are always giving our opinions and our thought process. This is what I think is right. Because according to how many years of reality, my 30 years of reality, I would believe that this 30 years of reality is the only truth. So always I would speak only that which is the 30 years of reality. So I'll be like, yes, if you have to wash the utensils, you should wash it in so and so way. When you're buying a house, you should buy it in so and so way. When you are talking to someone, when you're building maybe a media channel, when you're doing a show, this is how it should be done. But essentially, what we're speaking plays so much of a big role in creating the reality that we want. So when you observe Patriji, like he paid so much attention to Vakshetra. Again, that Vakshetra is essentially such a scientific aspect of energy also. Because when you come into meditation, you start increasing your energy. The number of words reduce. When we always and we start doing more of action. So if you've seen Patriji, then slowly 1 year he went into Mona. He would just use it through action, and I was to observe, oh my God, how he used to do that. 1 whole year, I physically saw Sir not speaking anything. And he used to either write, he used to signal, and the Dhyan Jagat, Shakar Jagat is still happening. It happened despite the words. Because we feel that words are important. We need to express ourselves. We need to express those words because we don't feel heard. A lot of times, that's an insight actually. A lot of us feel that, when you're sitting in a business meeting or when you're having a conversation, we always want to have the final word. Because we believe that, having the final word is having control. Knowing that, yes, that I know enough and my words have been given value. But when we come into meditation, that the understanding that the words are such a critical aspect of manifesting. So we want to have miraculous realities. We have to be miraculous through our words. So again, that's what I did in my past. In that particular manifestation, miraculous words was such an important aspect of it. So um, I would speak like, yes, what an amazing subject. You used to come to me with negative words and be like, no, that sort of challenge is happening. I think an earthquake might come in the exam hall and everything's just going to go away. I'm like, great, nah, let it be. Great. Then again, the exam will get postponed. Then we'll get more time to study and more time to meditate. So no matter what negative, then because people have this question like, if my external reality is so negative, how can I be positive and miraculous? We have a choice always. We always have a choice on what we speak. If a person is being negative and disastrous or being commanding or whatever, we must check ourselves. So the check for ourselves is, okay, if there's a negative word said from outside, what is our action on that? How are we reacting to it? Are we silent? And how many words are we uttering for that? So yes, so then every time a negative word would be said, or thing would be said, it would always come back into, okay, that's amazing, isn't it? So even in PMC, there are a lot of people who come towards you and be like, you know what, this is not right. Should be done like this. When we're talking, it should be very scientific. People should not say this. This should not happen. That should not happen. So, and the funniest aspect is I see and I'm just like, great, amazing, what a great perspective, so beautifully expressed through their words. I know nothing can happen through that because it's done is done. Because people are giving a comment about what's happened in the past, and I'm just like, oh, great, amazing, thank you so much for this feedback. Miraculous words should always be uttered through our mouth because we are here doing universal work and it's just happening through us. So yes, the vacha is very, very important. The bhashanamu, yani the words are very important. Eventually, like the yogic state is essentially mita bhashanamu, where you're saying, or rather nirbhashanamu, where you're not speaking anything. So where silence speaks louder than words. And the final, like when we come to knowing that, yes, what my thoughts are, vacha is our words, and karmana, how we're doing it through our actions. A lot of times we say, I don't have time. I want to do dhyan pracharam. I want to do dhyan pracharam. Like, I want to give all my life to dhyan pracharam, but I'm not able to do it. In karmana, when we see in our actions, the amount of hours and minutes we spend over our phones to see other person's realities is, how much is that? Where is our time spent? What do we do in our actions? We must keep a self-check. So whenever we say that, I want to do pracharam, but I don't think it's possible because half the time I'm so busy. I have to attend to phone calls. And if we actually observe our 24 hours of the day, and that's how Patriji did it. He used to be connected to everyone in the world, have the right conversation with that person, wishing them a happy birthday to their so-called physical life important days like marriage anniversary or whatever. Or he would just be like, okay, Baba, tell me. So he would just call us and tell us, Amulya, what's up? Chappu, batao, kya chal raha hai? And then I'm just wondering, how does he manage to do that? He's such a busy person. Actually, if you look at it, he's so busy. He spends 24 hours of his day and 365 days of the month, of the year, just working. And his karmana is so aligned to his manasa and his vacha. He says, dhyan jagat, chakar jagat, pyramid jagat, and his actions are all about that. And that reality is happening through karmana. And you see it. Even without his physical presence in the world, he is manifesting dhyan jagat, chakar jagat, pyramid jagat through all of us. Isn't that beautiful? That's the beauty of it. We don't need his physical presence. We don't need his words to encourage us. He's already said it all. He doesn't need to throw thoughts into our mind and try to tell us, this is what needs to be done. No, that's all. He said it. He lived it. He did it through his karuna, and all we need to do is now ourselves act. That's the beauty of it. I just feel that even my father, for that example, that the words, the thoughts, the words and the action, I saw that, yes, that's so perfectly aligned. And because of that, because you're in this state, he passed away in an omega consciousness, from alpha to omega consciousness, where you believe you are everywhere. from an alpha state is knowing that, yes, I'm in this body, I'm in this reality, and I'm vacating. And omega state is to understand that everywhere, everything is one, and you vacate. And that's the beauty of it. That's how Patriji did it. So Manasa Vacha Karmana is not just for the beauty and manifestation in this reality. It's also to a point, I'm going to extend this to a last stage, which is knowing about the consciousness of death. Because when you're born with a consciousness. You're born with a chetna. But slowly, we get merged into the mundane and the everyday. But we come into meditation, we come into a realization, we realize that, yes, through meditation, the reality that I wish to create, through my individual consciousness, merging with the universal consciousness, to realize that, yes, I am I'm here to play my part in the bigger scheme of things. And knowing my purpose. Once I know my purpose, now slowly, when you're living your purpose through this Manasa Vacha Karma, it's a self-check every single day, moment. It's not this one-time activity. It's not like one loan. It's not like one loan that you take. No, it's every single moment working towards it. And to a last point, when you are in the death stage, you are that when you are living that Manasa Vacha Karma reality, you don't feel like I want to stay for longer in this physical body, because you're in a knowing. You are aligned with yourself, and so you are accepting of the reality that's in front of you. And that's exactly what Patriji did. When I had observed him in his last states too, he was aligned still with his Manasa Vacha Karma, because of being in a vulnerable state. He didn't go back to longingness and belongingness, or going back into the material reality. He was right there and said, yes, Dhyan Jagat, Shakar Jagat, it's going to happen through all of us. Merging into the consciousness, merging into every single one of us. And that's why we all feel like, yes, there's an aspect of him within all of us, and that's driving us. Originally, I thought that, okay, how, without the founder of the organization, how does an organization actually run? Because it's impossible, because obviously PSSM does not have hierarchy, but how does an organization run? And it's running beautifully. So this is my submission to all of us, that let us all keep our Manasa, Vacha and Karma in check all the time, because it's such an integral aspect of being our highest selves. Let us not go into the thing of I know everything. No, we don't know everything. We'll never know everything. But yes, we have the knowing that, yes, in this present moment, the right thing will be done through me. And I'm a messenger. I'm a light form. I'm here just being the medium through which the work has to be done. So let us be the best mediums. We are meant to be the best mediums, and doing a task and departing. So let us pay attention to the Manasa Vacha Karmana. Let us not get too involved into the daily affairs, because that's all a Maya. Don't get into the daily affairs. Yes, probably your husband is not right with you. Your in-laws are not good with you. Your kids are not listening to you. Your job is not as perfect as you wished it to be. Or your school, if you're in a school going thing, you're not getting the marks that you desire. Don't get into the mundane, because that is all, again, not the right knowing of this. Your next moment, you're not going to be there. How is your Manasa Vacha Karma? Yeah. So thank you very much for this time. And let us all keep a self-check. Like let us all have a self-check all the time. Thank you.
Really good. Thank you so much. Now we'll get into the Q&As. That's a great topic, having moving from disastrous thinking towards miraculous thinking, or Yukta, Vacha, all these aspects. The problem for many of the people who want to get in there is like, how to. Does just doing meditation help, or is there any effort that is needed from the seeker side to get to this state, So what helps in attaining that state of thinking and also the words?
Yes, first, suppose you do 1 hour of meditation. So, yes, that 1 hour of meditation should be powerful. It is split throughout the day. The rest is the 23 hours that are in our hands. Meditation is essentially being with our breath. The rest of the 23 hours are in our hands. So, as Patriji says, Swadhyay, 33%. We must read books. We must read the right spiritual books. Again, if you want Patriji's recommended books, you can go on pssmovement.org. You can have a list of Patriji recommended books. And the right books to read is very, very important. In the practical reality, yes, it does seem very challenging when you're facing so many challenges in front of you, it's challenging to be positive also sometimes, because everyone is so negative. You're in an organization, in an office, and everyone is talking here and there, and they're talking about other people. They're talking like, there's no future to this, and that it's so unfair, such an unfair compensation that is given to one person and not to the other. All of these thoughts are there around you. And at that point, it's the choice, because you've read the right spiritual books. And knowing that the right company, the Satjan Sangati, the right Satjan, the right people, the Sajjan people, we always have a choice of who we spend time with. Because that's what spending time with Patriji was essentially, knowing that Vacha is such an important aspect, because he brought it to his thoughts, he brought it through his Manasa, he brought it through his actions, Karmana. But what he uttered through his words, you'll understand, because a Sajjan will always speak the right things to do. Right things. How much to speak? Where to speak? What is the context? A lot of that thing, we start getting so much self-check, because before coming into meditation, we didn't know enough. So we used to speak whatever's on our mind. If you felt negative, you would just say all those things. If you felt like someone has hurt me, then I'll just speak all those hurt words, and then not even know, utter all that anger words and then angry words, and then at the end of it realize, oh, okay, I just shouted at you. I'm so sorry I shouted at you for so long. But when you come into meditation, you realize, okay, I have a self-check. I know that, yes, I am feeling angry. We've read great books along Patriji's, Tulsidal. You've read all these books and you realize thoughts or the anger is essentially something that you have control over. And essentially when you have the right company, you start realizing, yes, Sajjan, being in the right company, I don't need to express these words. Is this needed? Do we need to do that? Not do that? And because we realize that, the Sajjan that we have around us have that positive intent. They are not speaking whatever's on their mind, because we feel it's so important. And so 33%, 34% essentially that's the key. 34% of Sajjan Sangati. It's very, very important. Knowing that, yes, how much time we spend with these people are very, very important. So in practical reality, yes, just help putting it together. Meditation, Swadhyaya and Sajjan Sangha. These are the three key things through which we can have that self-check in the 23 hours. The way I see it is, feelings are essentially like this leaf outside. The source of it is the thought. So yes, definitely thought and feeling comes hand in hand. We feel positive, so we say positive words. We think positive and then we say those positive words. But let me just put it very simply. We have control over how we express our emotions. Having feeling irritated is not wrong. Once you come into meditation, a lot of people start feeling, no, I should not be angry. I should not be irritated. I should not be. Half the time we are not living in that present moment and feeling that complete thing that we are experiencing, that present moment. So when I'm feeling angry, this is what first I was always denying that anger or denying that this thing. And this, for example, a hurt of someone saying something to me. And then, okay, I feel it completely that yes, these words are spoken. okay, is this the truth? No, it's not the truth. So we're not denying, because when we're again we're putting it under the carpet when we're not dealing with that reality. So yes, it is step one. I don't want to speak in terms of intellectual words because it's just not practical. Practically, I would just deal with that emotion. Then when that emotion is completely within me and I see that, okay, let me take that emotion out of me. Are these emotions mine? No, they're not. So do I have control over them? Yes, by not giving energy to it. So then I would get out of it. Then coming to a higher state, when you're like on a flight, when you're going on a flight, everything in this reality seems really big. But when you are on the flight and from a top perspective, everything looks really small. So from being in this state, I would lift myself to this and be like, okay, what is the highest thing to do at this moment? The highest thing to do is to let that be. Do you need to respond by saying something negative and wrong, and because you're hurt you would express yourself immediately? No, I would stop for 24 hours and feel that emotion, see that is it necessary for me to express this emotion, and by the 24 hours, if it fades away, then it's not needed.
So as a music learner, so when they do meditation with music, rather than stepping into deep meditation, their mind is finding Shruti, Tala, and all the aspects of the technical aspects of the music. So I think, as a person who is a singer and a Carnatic musician, so how do you take it? Like, when you sit for meditation music,
in the start, when I used to go to Dhyanma Chakram, I always used to feel, because I could hear and music is so loud from all corners, and I would be so overwhelmed. I'd be like, okay, I'll really see how I'm going to meditate. But slowly, that's what again Patriji has brought in, that conditioning, that not caring about what is happening externally. Because once you go into deep meditation, yes, it's right that it's natural for you to start going into the tala, laya, the shruti, the composition, all of that is very natural, Shri Hari. But focus on the breath is very, very important. When you focus on your breath, slowly, that will also go away. Now it doesn't care if someone's shouting also, and you're deep into meditation. So that slowly will go away. For example, I had a major question. Like Abhishek, my husband, is actually a percussionist. So he would, and he's way deeper into music and many years into music than I am. So I would ask him how, like, this is what Patriji did. I wanted to see, because he was new into meditation. Okay, can you go beyond it? And then I asked him. Now he's practicing meditation for 3 years, and he said that now it doesn't matter if someone's doing a tabla on my head also. Now it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because you are focusing on the breath. You're already beyond the music. You're just taking the energy of the music and going. So Shri, we'll all be in that state when. But still, music with meditation is good. But again, it's not a compulsory. You can also do music without meditation. You can do meditation without music.
How to be one with thought, speech, and action? Is it easy or difficult? Like, what is it practical for a common man to just live it?
Yes, because we're meditating. It's definitely not. It's the way you see it. If you look at it as one big task, then it will be a big task. But if you're very serious about doing or serious about manifestation, or serious about whatever, like at this present moment, I'm very serious to make the reality, to create that reality. I will work on Manasa, Vacha, Karmana. If I'm not that serious, then I will just be like, yeah, man, whatever comes to my mind. I want to go to that party. I'll just go attend that party. Who cares? Nothing. Hindi mein they say, sab moh maya hai. Sab moh maya hai. You have control over nothing. The world is going somewhere. Everyone's going to die. If you're in that reality, then so be it. But when you know that, yes, we are here for Dhyan Jagat, Sakar Jagat, Pirme Jagat, we know that we're here for a purpose, then we will work on Manasa, Vacha, Karmana.